Jet boats and Speedos. No, not the type you wear. We're talking about speedometers. I'm Tim Johnson. This is Shop Tour Reviews. We had the opportunity to install Autometer's 3 3/8 inch GPS speedometer into our 496 big block Chevy powered jet boat. The existing gauges were showing signs of wear. In fact, the existing Teleflex pitot tube speedometer that was in the boat didn't even work. And adding the Autometer GPS speedometer adds more than just a speedometer to it. You get some existing features that are added as well. So in an LED screen right built into the speedometer, you get features like an onboard odometer, so you can actually see how far you've run, as well as an hour meter. You get a trip meter, you get a peak speed, longitude, latitude, as well as the different levels of brightness, so you can actually set how bright you want that LED light to be. And I must say, after installing the Autometer speedometer, it has to be one of the easiest upgrades to your dash you can do, whether we're talking about a boat, muscle car, hot rod, or whatever other type of vehicle you're wanting to put a speedometer in. To install this, all you have is basically 3 wires in the GPS antenna. You have a power wire from the ignition, so 12 volt source from the ignition. You have 12 volts from a switchable light source, in which we just jumpered off the ignition because we don't have a separate light switch. And then you need a ground wire as well. And other than that, you just have the coax that's coming from the GPS antenna. If there was a tough part to this installation, which there really wasn't, it was just determining where the GPS antenna was going to go. So you've got this typical square or rectangle puck that actually has a magnet built into it. So if you have a metallic surface where you want it to be, it'll actually just magnetize to it and you're good to go. If not, you can use some double stick tape and mount it to fiberglass, plastic, or what have you. Now in our case, what worked out really well was we had an Autometer tachometer mounted to the dash, and it was built into a housing, or it was in a housing. So we actually used the puck to magnetize to the front of that housing. It looks like it was made there. And the actual mount to the tachometer housing, we pulled it off, drilled another hole to actually run the wire through. So again, we hit all the wires. It looks like it was made to be there, and we were good to go. Now, boats are synonymous with having ground issues, and especially when you're dealing with corrosion, because there's really not good grounds on boats because it's always in the water. You're actually not grounded, as well as you're dealing with something corrosive like water, salt water, and so on. So we always like to solder all our connections when we're dealing with marine stuff. I actually like to do it in vehicles too. That's just kind of what we do. We wanted to make sure we had good solid connections. We used our Milwaukee M12 soldering iron and our M18 heat gun because we had no cores to deal with, especially when we're doing the soldering in the boat and the heat shrink in the boat. The M12 soldering iron, you flip it on and it heats to 750 degrees within seconds, and then we could pre-tin our wires. By the way, there's a good pro tip for you. Pre-tin or pre-solder your wires and even your terminals if you can beforehand, and then when you put them together and crimp them, all you have to do is get them up to temperature, and then that solder will mesh into one another. You get a nice solid good joint, not a cold joint. If that solder is all dull, that's a cold joint. That's not going to hold very well. So make sure you pre-tin everything. And then the M18 heat gun, we made sure that we covered all our solder joints with some heat shrink. And then we also took a larger piece of heat shrink and put it over the female disconnect, if you will, so that we could actually cover the outside metal as well. So there's no chance of those arcing against one another, the ground and the 12 volt source. And the cordless Milwaukee soldering iron and heat gun worked out really well because they'll also stand on their own. You don't have to worry about that hot tip on the heat gun or the soldering iron touching carpet or touching fiberglass or anything like that. They'll just stand up until they cool off. We also didn't have to worry about power cords running to the boat either. We installed our Autometer GPS speedometer in the dash of the boat, which actually was 3/4 inch plywood with reinforced by fiberglass. So it was pretty thick. It was almost an inch thick. In fact, it was a little too thick for the speedometer to fit in there and the bracket to still fit on there to put the nuts on. So we actually had to take the black bracket, it's plastic on the backside. We had to trim about 1/4 inch off of it. Very easy to do. Just took a cutoff wheel and cut it off. You'll know what we're talking about if you got a thick dash, but you just had to trim that down a little bit. We did that within a minute and a half. So very easy to do. And then we just took the wires, fed it through the bracket first. Make sure you feed the wires through the bracket on the back side of the dash first. Then feed the wires through your dash. we plugged it into our GPS speedometer, so plugged in our power sources, which was again for the 12-volt ignition and the lights, and then plugged in the ground and screwed in the GPS antenna, slid that back into the dash, and then used the knurled finger nuts that Autometer includes with our kit. Made it very easy. You don't have to use a wrench, don't have to use a socket or anything to actually install that into the dash, and we were good to go. Now we flipped on the power, turned the key on, and what we got was acquiring signal on the LED readout below the speedometer, or on the bottom of the speedometer. It took about 30 seconds for it to lock onto the satellite, and then we got the words locked right there on the bottom of the speedo. It no longer said acquiring signal, told us it was locked, and then we went to our first ride. Now, right off the bat, I'm telling you, we did not have any issues with this speedometer. After 25, 30 wide open throttle pulls, from stabbing it right out of the hole to easing into it, what have you, got a nice smooth reading on that speedometer. Now, the Autometer GPS speedometer actually communicates 10 times per second. So you do get a nice smooth needle movement on the gauge itself, and it worked really well. Again, whether we were taking off fast or just easing into it, it didn't have any jerkiness to it. And after all those pulls, we didn't have any abnormalities, any anomalies or something weird going on. It always remained steady, and the readout was right. Now, on the Autometer GPS speedometer, you have two buttons. The button on the left is going to actually toggle through your different features. The button on the right is going to allow you to clear those certain features if it's applicable. So you can't clear things like the hour meter or the odometer that's always going to increment with the boat. But things like your trip meter and your peak speed, you can clear those. And then you can also select different brightnesses from 1 to 7 to actually, show how bright you want that readout. We're really impressed with how it makes the dash stand out where that speedo is, but again, it really stands to show kind of the age of the rest of the gauges, how we need to update that as well. So we'll make sure that we have another video coming up soon where we're freshening up the rest of the dash. So make sure you check them out at Autometer.com. We specifically use the Autometer ProComp Marine whiteface 3 3/8 inch GPS speedometer. You can pick this up for about $350, and if you need the GPS antenna, it's going to be another $65 or $70. Also, they have a bunch of different flavors to choose from. Whether you want a silver face, a black face, a carbon fiber face, whatever you want, they probably have it. Also, be sure to keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Please subscribe to that YouTube channel, and have a great day.